On December 13, 1916, during World War I, hundreds of Austrian soldiers are killed by a powerful avalanche in the Alps.
But why were these soldiers in the Alps in the first place? And how have modern researchers been able to recover the remains of some World War I victims?
When Americans think of the Great War, they usually focus on the fight in the trenches against Germany on the Western Front. But there are fronts in many parts of Europe and even on other continents, including Africa and Asia. There is even a front in the Alps on the border between Italy and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This is an especially challenging place to fight a war. Both sides struggle in the demanding terrain. Supply lines are a huge challenge in that geography. And when winter rolls along, it becomes particularly difficult because of the cold and the snow. An Austrian officer exclaims, "The mountains in winter are more dangerous than the Italians." The risk of avalanche is high. In fact, both sides accuse one another of purposefully triggering avalanches as a weapon. Hundreds of Austrian troops stationed in a barracks near Italy's Mount Marmolada are in particular danger. Although the camp is well placed to protect it from attack, it is situated directly under a mountain of unstable snow. On December 13th, about 200,000 tons of snow, rock, and ice plunge down the mountain directly onto the barracks. An estimated 200 men are pulled to safety, but 300 others die. Only a handful of the bodies are recovered. In fact, during that last month of 1916, an estimated 10,000 Austrian and Italian soldiers are killed by a series of avalanches. With the melting of glaciers in recent years, some World War I avalanche victims have at last been recovered. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1577, Francis Drake begins a voyage that becomes the second in history to circumnavigate the globe. In 1937, Japan's army seizes the Chinese capital of Nanking and begins a months-long massacre of civilians. In 1989, pop star and cultural icon Taylor Swift is born in Reading, Pennsylvania. In 2000, after weeks of legal battles, Al Gore concedes the U.S. presidential election to George W. Bush. In 2003, after 9 months on the run, former Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein is captured by U.S. forces. In 2007, Major League Baseball releases the Mitchell Report, detailing widespread use of PEDs in the sport. In 2022, New Zealand passes a first-of-its-kind law that will gradually phase out legal tobacco use.
And now it's time for our Today in History quiz.
How many humans have walked on the moon? 10, 12, 14, or 16?
Liked learning about this World War I avalanche? Then you'll love this one about the day the war ended nearly 2 years later. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.